Welcome to Crunch Time, a program dedicated to helping you survive the crunch times in your life, whether they are caused by accidents, natural disasters, poverty, economic recession, depression, or all-out economic collapse, or whether they are caused by your realization that today's food supply is being contaminated by artificial fertilizers, pesticides, and genetically modified organisms, and over-processing of crops into what can hardly be called food. We want to help you through the crunch times in your future by teaching you what we have learned about organic gardening, food storage, and food preparation. We'll bring you into our kitchen and into our garden and share with you what we have learned, hopefully before your crunch times arrive. Now here is Chef Francois. Welcome back to Crunch Time, where Jesus is King and all our desires are to serve Him. Here's our garden at 10 o'clock in the morning on the first day of December. Here, I think I'll take these last couple white daikons. They're still in the ground. That one. And that one. I'm not going to put them in my bag though, because I want the bag for clean stuff. Alright, I'm going to take some kale leaves. Lowest to the ground. These kale leaves are frozen even. Should be enough, really. Get one more. Frozen stiff. Still good to eat. And I'm going to get some spinach while we're here. Alright, that'll be enough spinach. Got plenty at home to eat anyway. Now, the one leek. Oh, I guess I should use a shovel for that one. Alright, we're going to pull up this leek. There. That wasn't so bad. I didn't think it was going to be quite so frozen. Maybe that rutabaga is going to be the same way too. Oh, rutabaga is fine. A little bit of frost, but not bad. Maybe I should go check the green head daikons too. I think I still had some outside, yeah, over there. Green head daikons. Yep, they're pulling right up easy. I think I'll leave those in. I've harvested some green heads, some white daikon, some rutabaga, some kale, some spinach, and I have mulched my strawberries with the old bale of hay that I had. Still should have a little bit more, so I'm going to leave it like that for now, and maybe later in the winter I'm going to come pile some of those bags on either side to protect it some more. But for now it's going to be mulched like that, and that's the way we're going to keep it. Alright, we're back home and we're going to clean off the vegetables we just harvested. Starting with the rutabaga. And a little white daikon that is growing nice and deep. A green head daikon. The other white daikon that I had transplanted, that's why it's got a forked root down here. Shell says you can't transplant root crops. And I said, watch me. And sure enough, we planted these and yeah, it forked. But I saved 2 weeks worth of growing time by doing that. And the leek. Never eaten a leek before, never cooked a leek before, but I'm going to do it today. Well, we've gone to the garden today, the first day of December, and we've picked some spinach, some kale, some daikon, both white daikon and green head daikon. We've also picked the only leek that I actually got to grow this year, and one of our big rutabagas, fresh out of the garden this morning. May or may not be getting into that. And I've brought up a couple onions from our store. This one's getting a little soft, the center is still hard, and this one here, we're going to see what's left in one. Alright, I have no idea what I'm going to make. I'm going to just wing it. I'm going to maybe shred some in the shredder, and I guess I'm just going to start with the part I've never used before. I've never eaten a leek. I've never grown leeks until this year, and I did a little bit of research. It says you're supposed to trim off any dirty leaves or leaves that are not in good shape. And it says take the dark green leaves and save those for something else. I may or may not use those today. And I'm going to start off by just chopping up even the roots. I think we're going to use the roots even in our stir fry. It won't really be a stir fry, it'll be more of a... I think I'm going to make some tarts. I found in the internet a recipe for leek tarts. And there is some dirt in these roots, so I'm going to rinse these off. I'm going to put them right in the frying pan. Clean ones at least. Down there are still dirty. I have tasted these roots and they're tasty. They're a little harder than the leek though. Alright, the recipe said to cut it in half. Now this looks familiar. I have eaten cattails, bulrushes. Cattails are the flower actually, it's the top of the plant. A great big tall plant you see in the swamp that's got a cattail on top. You pull those out and peel off the outside leaves, you'll have something similar to this. This is very familiar looking. I have eaten cattails, so I have not eaten leeks. But today we're going to try. And the recipe that was in the internet said to just go ahead and slice this off. The light green parts, the dark green part, the part that we already threw away. You can leave that out. This looks pretty good. I think I'm going to like these. Slicing them real thin. I betcha they even taste. Yeah, they taste more like onions than they do the cattail. Similar consistency though. Alright. Looks like thin onions, really. Without quite so much liquid in them. This hard part on the bottom. That tastes like the bulrushes that I've had before. Alright, we're going to take whatever's good out of these onions and we're going to throw those in there too. Move some of this stuff so our work is more visible. We've got some onions here that are really good on the outside, not so good on the inside. We've got one that's not so good on the inside or outside and is better on the inside. These here, I'm going to cut them crossways first, and dice them in these directions. Same thing with this one. Alright, we're not going to turn that on until we've got enough stuff in there to cook. This onion has only got one clove in it, 2 cloves in it that are good. Why do onions have cloves? Well, if you grow them from seeds, they won't have cloves. But if you grow them from sets or miniature onions that you buy at your gardening store, you'll end up with cloves similar to garlic. Except they're the onions. So I'm going to cut these crossways and dice them up like that. Now the one recipe I saw for the leeks, leek tarts. I may make some pie crust and make tarts with whatever stuff I'm going to cook in here, and I'm not sure exactly everything is going to go in here, but whether we get rutabaga in there too or whether we just get the other stuff. rinse off and cut up. Part that we can't scrape. Well, I think I'll toss it out. I'm going to take this daikon and I'm just going to shred it. This part that was above the ground that froze, I'm going to leave right off. And do the same with this white one here. Cut off this extra root. Throw that out. Now this is the stuff I normally make coleslaw out of. Fresh daikon. It's quite wet, you can see. I have no idea what this is going to cook up like. I have not tried cooking shredded daikon directly. I'm going to take some greenhead daikon, put that in there. Part of this daikon that's been frozen is turned black already, so I'm going to leave that off. Alright. Not enough onions in there for all of that daikon, but that's okay. I'm going to slice off another piece of squash. Now I need a bigger dish to squish that into. Good way to keep the squash. Just seal off the end of it, whether it was with a paper bag and a rubber band like I did before, or whether it's with a bowl. I'm going to save these seeds. I've got the bowl from yesterday that I saved seeds in. Right here. Alright. And we are going to shred the pumpkin. Not the pumpkin, the squash. And once again, when I get close to the end, I'm going to just take the piece, I won't hurt myself, and set it over there. Cut it up with a knife so I don't hurt my thumb again. Grater like I did 2 days ago. Finally got the bandage off. Well, it looks like it's going to be a mess of stuff cooked. I don't know if it's going to end up a soup, or we're going to end up putting it inside a tart, or whether we'll add some turkey to it and make casserole, or what. I have no idea. But I'm going to turn this on, get some olive oil in there, we will see what happens. About 1 tablespoon is all I'm putting in. We have a lot of stuff in here. So while that's warming up, I'm going to finish cutting up. Toss that little piece out. There. Keep from wasting all that. You can add that right to it. I got a feeling if I cook this too much, it'll be a mess. We're just going to stir fry it on high heat. Might even use something different than that. Let's see. Looks pretty. All different colors. Green, white, orange. Sure does look good. I wonder what it'll taste like if I overcook it. I know it'll taste like I undercook it because I've tasted all of these raw and they all taste pretty good. Boy, if I just put some turkey in there, it's going to make a good dish just the way it is. Let me pull out my turkey. Shredded turkey. Possibility of bones in here. Found one already. Now let's get that turkey down towards the bottom. The other stuff on top. You know, I should have done something separate with the leek, because I won't have a chance with all this stuff in here to see what the leek actually tastes like. Well, I've definitely made a mess, but I think plenty cooked. For a stir fry at least. Definitely is. We need some seasoning. Definitely salt and pepper. Maybe some garlic salt. If I can find it. Well, here's some bacon salt. It's pretty much empty. There it goes. Now, that seasoning, it should taste much better. I have definitely made a mess with the seasoning all over the top of the stove here. But let's see what it tastes like with the seasoning on it. A little hot, but we will show with this camera. Just take leftovers, whatever you've got, put it together and stir fry. I guess that's how the name chop suey came about in a Chinese restaurant one day when a bunch of soldiers came by and said, we want some food, and the Chinese restaurant says, well, we don't have anything right now. I said, what do you mean? You got all kinds of stuff here. He said, well, we don't have enough of this to make the lo mein, and we don't have enough of that to make the fried rice, we don't have enough of that to make that. So what they did is they just took everything they had and they threw it all together and they called it chop suey, which I guess means something like everything thrown together. Well, that's what we got here. I like it. So I guess you can make something good out of just about anything. I guess what it really boils down to is if you're thankful for what you've got, God will bless it and make it taste good. At least that's what happened today. In the last minute of our show, I'd like to tell you about the real reason for this show. Jesus Christ, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Without Jesus as my Savior, I would not be confident entering into these trying times that lay ahead. If Jesus is not your Lord and Savior, I suggest you send me an email at crunchtime@roadrunner.com and ask me how you can join the God who loves you, His Son Jesus Christ, and His disciples in everlasting life. For now, I say to you, God bless and keep you and yours. I'll see you next week on Crunch Time with Chef Francois.